Hello! I'd like to show you how to make a book cover design using GIMP, which is a free bitmap software you can download for free in www.gimp.org. First thing I'm going to do is to open the file, to open the program, which is this one, the one that has a cat with a paintbrush, making double click on it. It might happen that when you open the program, it's not in the right language. So the first thing I'm going to do is just to change the language preferences, right? So I'm going to, depending on the version you have on the computer you're using, you will find the preferences of the software in Editar Preferencias, or this is the case of my computer, GIMP Preferencias. You will scroll down until you get to Interface, right? And you would have to select here English, Great Britain. Once you have the language selected, you click in Aceptar, alright? And you have to quit GIMP and open it again. There we have the program in English. Some things that might happen when you open the GIMP. Right now you can see that my computer has the toolbox with all the tools available. If you can see all of them, there's something you can do as well. You can go to the preferences, you will go to the toolbox, and you have to unclick use tool groups, right? So this is not selected anymore, and you click in OK. This is going to give you the possibility to see all the tools simultaneously. Some other windows that you should have visible are those that belongs to the layers, right? If they are not visible, go to Windows, Dockable Dialogs, and click on Layers, right? And we need as well the tool options. You can also use them, open them here. Windows, Dockable Dialogs, Tool Options. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is to open in GIMP all the files I'm going to use to make my book cover design. I have created a folder where I have everything I need. So I'm going to open the visuals, that is the image, the logo type of my publisher. I'm going to open as well the barcode, and I will open, I don't need any more. Okay, let's see. So there are many possibilities. I just can click, drag and drop into the canvas, right? Or the other possibility is you can open a file like this, right? File, open, right? So I have at the top, I have my barcode, I have the picture I'm going to use, I have as well the logo of my publisher, and I'm going to create. So I just have to go to File, New, and I will select a template A3 300 points per inch, which is a high resolution for printing. The orientation will be landscape, and I'm going to choose centimeters. Important, if I have the black color in the background, the background will be black, so I think it's much better if we just put a white background, right? So we have a white canvas. Once I have all the settings, I just click in OK. Alright. Next thing I'm going to do is to put some guidelines in my go to View, Unactive, Show Guides, Unactive as well, Show Rulers. So as I was saying, I'm going to add some guides. There are many different possibilities to add guidelines, right? But I will start just setting two guides to split a document into halves. So maybe the best possibility is to go to Image, Guides, New Guide by percent, right? And add in horizontal direction one that is at 50%. So you can see right now this line, which is blue. That means that it's not going to be printed in the final document, and it's already set halfway of the paper sheet horizontally. I'm going to add another one in Image, guides, new guide by percent, but this time will be vertical one. Okay, so this is going to help me structure all the composition. If I check carefully the dimensions of my book cover, they should be 29.9 by 21.6. So what I'm going to do is to create in the background some kind of drawing that is going to help me to just to set the boundaries of my file, right? I click in the rectangle selection tool and clicking and dragging in the tool options, I'm going to say that the size in centimeters will be 29.9 by 21.6, right? And I'm just going to click and drag this until I perfectly set on the surface, right? Okay, might be a good idea maybe just to paint this in some color so we can still see where the whole picture should be, right? I will take for this the paint bucket and making click on the background, right? I will set the boundaries of my book. Taking the zooming in, I will click and drag some guidelines at 3 millimeters from the edges, right? So if this is 4, these are 3 millimeters away, which is going to mark clearly the bleeding when cropping with the guillotine. This program works using layers, and this is what we are going to start doing here, is selecting the image on the other documents we have opened, just selecting them, copying them and pasting them on top of the canvas, on a new layer. So I will start with the front cover. I will mark with my guidelines as well the position of the spine. The spine should be perfectly aligned vertically, and according to instructions should be 1.3 centimeters width. So what I'm going to do is to count 7 millimeters more or less on either side, right? 7 millimeters. Okay, so we already have delimited the position of the front cover that will be to the right, the spine that will be in the center, and then the back cover that is going to be the surface we have to the left. Okay, now we can visualize the whole document. I remind you that all these dashed blue lines, they will be lines that are not going to be printed. They just help us to organize the information. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to go to the illustration that I will have in the front cover, which is this one, and I'm just going to get the piece I have to the left. Okay, so what I'm going to do really is to select with the rectangle selection tool the piece of the picture I want to get, okay, which is this one. And what I'm going to do is to say edit copy. You can also use the shortcut key Ctrl C, and then you have to go to the canvas and you will say edit, paste as a new layer, and see what happens in the panel layers, that you already have the picture into a new layer that is going to give us the possibility of modifying everything. It's not in the right place, so clicking in the move tool, and with the pasted layer active, I'm just going to click and drag the illustration to the right place. Okay, there is a little piece of the previous drawing that is not in the right place, so what I'm going to do is just to crop what is not necessary. Will be a good idea just to edit the layer attributes, especially for writing the elements. This is the illustration of the front cover, right? Okay, so that is going to help us organize everything. I find this very big as well, so clicking in the scale tool, which is this one, and I'm just going to click and drag until I get the right size. I think that would be nice like this, scale. And then I'm going just to click and move downwards. Okay, the whole front cover in my case is going to be white. I have decided that white is a nice color for this composition. So let's see if I can edit a little bit this image. Okay, I was saying that I was going to crop this piece that shouldn't be there. So I will get a different selection tool, for example this one, and I will just select the area I want to crop. Once the area is selected, edit, cut. Okay, all right. I like to have a white background all around my picture, so I'm going to introduce a new layer. There are many possible ways of creating new layers. Just click in here in this icon, or just go to layer, new layer. This one is going to be white front cover background. And as you can see right now, this file is above the other one, so I'm just going to click and drag to reorganize the information. Select none. I'm going to pick up the rectangle selection tool, right? And I'm just going to include an area that is going to be totally white. So with the front cover white selected, and with my paint bucket, I will paint on it. So I have already all my white background. Okay, and I'm just going to crop this little piece that is there that I don't need it anymore. As you can see, I have to be in the right layer just to be able to manipulate the elements I have to cut. Okay. Next thing, I'm going to introduce the text. So I have selected the text tool, and I'm going to type there the name of my writer. I will select the color, and I'm just going to make this bigger. For me, it's better just to count the dimensions of the letters using points than instead of pixels, right? So I think 22, I don't really like this type of font, so what I'm going to do is to choose a different one. So some kind of, okay, Helvetica New 22 red. Okay, it's not really in the right position, so I'm going just to click on the letters and drag them to the right position. Okay, now I'm going to introduce as well the title of the book. Okay, I will use black color this time, and I'm going to use Courier bold maybe. Okay, maybe slightly bigger. Okay. I'm not very satisfied with this line, so I'm just going to go to the other one. I'm going to crop this. And I'm going to redraw the line using something nicer. Okay, so taking the pencil with this type of brush, and yeah, I think it will be this one. Okay, I'm just going to go to the illustration front cover, and just I will make a click and drag. Sorry, I didn't select the right color. If you have to go back, there's something you can do. You have to the undo history should be opened, right? Okay. So remember that the front cover, the foreground color should be active. That's it.